Welcome back to Young Money Mindset. Super excited to have Ed Bassmaster in the building, guys. We have a ton of good content coming up this weekend for you.
Yep. Yes,
and we have a lot of different reacting videos too.
Yeah, that's the man.
We got a little crazy too right here.
Luke, you are the Luke.
I want to start with the Mark Wahlberg clip because that was something that was really interesting. So kind of take me into that. Like, how did you get that collab with Mark Wahlberg?
Are we rolling now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How's it going, guys? The Mark Wahlberg clip, let's see. Like about a year and a half or so ago, his assistant hit me up and asked if I could do a FaceTime call with Mark because apparently he was a fan of my stuff. And so was his family, like his son. I forget how old his son was at the time. So I FaceTimed with him in character as Chip Diamond. And then he just kind of planted the seed that if I ever wanted to do something, you know, to hit him up, gave me his number and everything. So then I was in Vegas for, I think it was UFC, I forget which one. But I was in Vegas for a UFC event. Or no, it was a power slap event. And I hit him up, and he said, come on out, and we shot something, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. He was down to earth, cool guy. He's going to put me in the movie.
No way. For real?
Yeah, he's been telling me that for 2 years now.
2 years. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to put you in a movie.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, no, he did say it, like, and I got it, and we were filming when he said it, so I have it on record. So if he ends up not putting me in a movie, I have his address and everything, so it's fine.
You're like, yeah, where's that movie feature at? That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that was really what, you know, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, man, that's crazy just to see Mark in there. And
yeah,
I would imagine you guys just shot that at his home gym or something.
Yeah, it was at his house in Vegas, up in the hills, and his home gym. And his whole family was really cool. His wife, they all like been watching my stuff for a while, so it was a cool experience, you know.
Yeah.
And he's low key and humble, like he's not like, you know, you'd expect it. I don't know. You expect it to be like a way bigger deal, but it's not. He's just, yeah. Yeah,
he's like, come over and shoot the shit. I love that, man. I love, you know, I appreciate you being on the podcast today too, Ed. I had a lot of guys hit me up. They're like, man, no way you have Ed on. I've been watching Ed for years.
I'm here, guys.
Yeah, so I know everyone's super excited to have you in Phoenix too today. So welcome to
well, we're here in Phoenix, guys, and if you want to hang out with us later tonight, we're going to hit the streets. We're going to, you know, post up where we're at. So make sure that when you see this, come hang out with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
This is airing today, right?
No.
Never mind.
No, it won't be today. We'll have to edit and everything like that. In terms of, I know, like recently, right now, with all the shit going on politically, I noticed you don't do any political content. Is that like by design? Like, do you purposefully stay out of it?
Next.
Okay.
No, I keep my nose out of everything.
Yeah.
Including politics. I don't know what's going on, and I could care less. And that's just the way I've lived my life the last probably 15 plus years, and I've never been happier. So I don't follow what's going on. I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't care who's doing what. And, you know, just take care of my family. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I was put on earth for, and to help others and when I can, and, you know, and go to work every day, regardless.
Yep. Yeah, and I try to take the kind of the same mindset on that because I know a lot of people kind of get sucked into this vacuum with political content, and it becomes your whole identity, right, as
terrible.
A creator.
It's a turnoff.
What you know, your creator journey has started. When did you start your creator journey?
I mean, YouTube came out in 2006, and I was making videos, you know, in 2006. Yeah, so 2006. September 2006 is when I joined.
Shit, okay.
And it wasn't called creator. It was just making videos. Now it's creator, influencer, this, that, and the other. It's just, I'm just a guy that, you know, was making videos and got lucky. And I guess some people found me funny enough to, you know, be able to do it for a living, you know. So I was started in 2006, and by 2008, I quit my full-time job and was you know, doing that ever since.
Yeah, and just focused in on building the brand and the channel. And right now, is YouTube your primary source of?
No, I try to, like, hustle. You were talking about, hustling, and I try to get my feet wet and everything, whether it be getting monetized through Facebook, YouTube, or just doing gigs where people just hired me to come out and do appearances, shows. I do live shows, so it's kind of it's my main source of income. I wouldn't say my best source of income because I'm not very active on YouTube as much as I was, back in the day. I kind of spread myself thin, and I don't ever consider myself, and I never did, a YouTuber. I'm just a guy. Like I said, I'm just a guy trying to make people laugh. That's it. Call me what you want, but I don't call myself a YouTuber or a comedian. I'm just a guy. I'm an artist maybe because I draw, I play music, and I dabble a little bit. So I would think more like that. You know,
No, that's cool, man. I think a lot of people look at it from the outside looking in, and they tend to like think that these creators have like these massive teams, and they're all like YouTube, is kind of the big thing, especially Young Money Mindset. Our audience is primarily young hustlers trying to
I
get
like
into.
him.
Yeah.
Young Money Mindset. He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, well, trying to get like into the business, right? Whether it's being a creator, getting into real estate, whatever their niche is. What's your team look like? Is it just you?
I don't have a team, do I?
It's just
No.
you
Yeah,
solo?
it's me. If it depends. If I'm doing something where I need Drew to film, then that's my team, me and Drew. I went to a few days ago. I was in Houston with what's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hired me to just come do an appearance at their annual conference, and I went solo. So my team is me most of the time. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm filming, whoever I'm using as a camera guy at that time. But I don't have producers. I don't have, like, if Drew films for me, he's editing for me. And if I'm traveling, if I'm doing shows, usually I do bring one or two of my homies with me, just like, I wouldn't say security, but it is security. They're kind of just, they're my friends. They do whatever, help me, carry stuff, help me park the car, help me get to where I'm going, keep my head on straight. So yeah, at the end of the day, there is no.
There's no like massive team behind the scenes. There's no producers. There's no like
No.
some agency that you're behind or anything like that. So I hear a lot of creators say like, oh, you got to have an agency, you got to have this piece, and you got to have that piece. I think that's a big takeaway for our audience is just to hear it directly from you. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need this massive team, right? It's just you. If your content is good and people resonate with it, they're gonna watch it. It's gonna, you're gonna get traction that way.
I mean, you could benefit from having a team support you. I sure could. I don't have a manager. I don't have any, and I'm like booking shows on top of shows that I don't even know, like, because I don't have somebody on my team. So it's kind of frustrating. I don't, have somebody helping me. Like, I wish I did have somebody that literally I could pay to just shadow me every single day. It would help my life be more organized than what it is right now. And it's just, I just go with the flow. And
If it's working, like, why
yeah,
change it, right? I think
yeah. A lot of
that's
people have
like,
teams too. I'll never forget, like 10 plus years ago, I was in LA. A company called Maker Studios acquired my YouTube channel. They were producing my content. And I met another fellow YouTuber that came up, and he was like, hey, yeah, this is my assistant so-and-so. And I thought it was so tacky. I was like, oh, man, I don't ever want to be that guy. Yeah. So,
who was that creator, Ed?
to be honest with you, I don't even know his name. I don't know who he was. I just knew he was a big YouTuber. I think he was a rapper, maybe, or a comedian. I don't even know who he was.
So they acquired your channel though at the time.
Yeah, I was with Maker Studios for 4 years, and they were basically helping produce my content with a guarantee, paying me a guarantee.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
was sweet. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
And what ended up? How did that end? Was that just something you guys mutually decided, like, hey,
Well,
we're
no,
gonna go separate ways? Or?
they kind of they sold to Disney. So I wasn't under contract. I did 2-year contract and another 2-year contract, and I was just like already out of contract by the time they sold to Disney. They sold it for some crazy amount of money, and the guys that started Maker Studio were like all mutual YouTube guys, friends of mine. Like I don't know if you know Shay Carl was one of the
Yeah.
founders. Kasim G was one of the founders. Danny Diamond, Lisa Nova. I forget who else.
So they just ended up exiting, selling it to
They
Disney.
sold it and went on their own ventures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I know. Yeah.
are they still creating? I would imagine they're probably still in the industry creating stuff and doing
Those
stuff on.
names that I just dropped, I don't think they are. I know Shay Carl, like, he bought a big piece of land in Idaho, and he actually bought a ski resort.
Oh,
So he
shit.
runs a ski resort, and
He's living life, man.
he's
He's
living life.
enjoying it,
Yeah, and his
dude.
brother Casey, who was also a creator, he's a hunting guy. Like, he does a lot of hunting videos. So they all went their separate ways. I don't honestly know what they're doing. I'll talk to Shay every once in a while, and
Yeah, I wonder. I think the other big question that I've gotten a lot is with like characters, like these characters you play. Is there like I talk to like actors that like have this whole routine to get into character, and then I've seen other people I've talked to that are just like, man, it just comes so natural. Like, are you naturally gifted in a sense where you can just kind of transform into a character,
I
or
mean, it's definitely natural for me. I just, since I was a little kid, emulate and impersonate people. That's just what I did. So for me to like, I can meet somebody and within 5 minutes of talking to them, I'm impersonating them to the T.
yeah?
I've just always had a knack for that, and so it's definitely natural for me. I don't have to get into a routine. I don't have to.
You didn't go to some fancy like acting school to learn like you
No,
got to do this character or
no,
anything like that.
no, I never had.
See, and I love those stories of like just genuine people, authentic people like Ed. You know, we've obviously just met, and just by sitting down, you know, having a short conversation with him, you just see how genuine he is, and it's just it's real, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that's another big takeaway for our audience because Young Money Mindset, really what we focus on in the real estate space is just being authentic and genuine. Our brand is built on not like this perfect, clear cut, clean image of like what a traditional agent would look
cookie
like.
cutter.
Yeah, cookie cutter agent, right? That's exactly what comes to my mind as well. So, you know, I think as time goes on and, you know, social media becomes kind of more of a standard in a sense where you have to have it to get to that next level, to market yourself, to brand yourself, to have that resume, at least in real
Yeah.
estate, to some degree, you want to know, hey, who am I working with? Typically, it's the largest transaction that person's ever going to do. What are some things that, you know, we could do as agents? If I'm an agent watching this that maybe wants to lean into the comedy side, what are some things that we could do to kind of lean into that comedy side?
Well, you just got to find somebody, make the connection, like you guys found me through Drew, and think outside of the box, really, because this, what we're going to do today and go out and film, or tomorrow, whatever, and go out and just film something that really has nothing to do with your business, but it just kind of makes that connection, and not cookie cutter, like you said, and just think outside the box and do something funny, and something different and off the wall, and it's like O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's an auto part company. They hired me to come and dress up in character and show up as Chip Diamond at their conference. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
who would have thought? Like, and I got there the morning of the conference, and they asked me to bring, or I offered to bring, my extra sweater. So I have like 3 of the same sweater for Chip Diamond, because the CEO of the company was a fan and wanted to dress up in the sweater and like just kind of mess around with me. So I was Chip Diamond and he put the sweater on, and we just walked around the conference where they had 10,000 people attending it, and just walked around, the conference. And I had to coach him how to do, because, he was like real dry headed at first.
Yeah.
And I got him to comfortable with it. And we just walked around the conference, and people had no idea I was going to be there. And I got recognized by like so many people there, like, knew who I was, and it was great. It was funny, and they were cracking up. And everywhere we were walking, they were like, psh, and then they saw him, like, what? No way! They didn't expect the CEO of their company to be in on the gag too. So
Yeah.
he asked me for a toothpick. I gave him a toothpick, and we just walked around pishing people. It was pretty funny.
That is, man. That's really funny. I think it speaks to brands too, looking for any creative way to get outside of that cookie cutter, you know, not to go back to that phrase, but it's just like it's so true. And, you know, here in Phoenix, you know, our main competition, is something that I study all the time, and they seem to be very focused in on that cookie cutter image, and it's like, man, I want to do business with people I know, like, and trust, right? For me, it's not even about necessarily the dollars and cents. It's really about, do I have an authentic connection with that
Yeah.
person? And, if you're an agent out there, hopefully that's provided value to you, that, it kind of gives you that permission to be out there and find someone that, either pushes you to get outside your comfort zone and to kind of make that segue from that clean cut image to actually who you are, because we all know it's not who you are. Like, these agents dressing up in tuxedos and suits and rocking around town all day. It's like, we know, you wake up.
My name's
Yeah, you wake.
Bob.
Yeah. We know you wake up like Sunday and you're fucking in sweatpants and a t-shirt, like we all are. So I think it's great to show clients another side of you. I can tell you from my business, it's really helped me explode and really attract more clients calling me, because they're like, man, at least the guy's real. I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I get the same sense from you, Ed, too. Like, when I go through, and we're gonna react to a couple of your videos, so make sure you guys stay tuned. We got some of Ed's biggest pieces of content coming up. Some that I've been fucking rolling, laughing at our office for the last like 2 days with the team, because everyone's super stoked to have you in.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so with that being said, like, let's really just kind of give them a takeaway here. Like, if there was another thing that you could go back and focus in on character wise, I know you have, how many characters do you have?
Somebody just asked me that like literally 2 days ago. I never counted. Like, I have probably 10 that are recurring, but I've done one-offs. I've done some characters where I've done 3, 4, 5 videos of, and some hundreds of videos. So altogether, if I, every single character that I've ever done, probably 100 total.
Okay.
You know,
And then you focus in on, like, Chip Diamond obviously is probably the most recognizable
absolutely
character.
Yeah.
And that's the one that really just cracks me up the most, because it's like, like, some of the people that are walking around meeting Chip Diamond, like, have they ever, like, gotten confrontational with you?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's people that, I mean, it's hard to go out anymore with Chip Diamond. It's not hard. It's impossible to go out and not get recognized by like multiple people, and blowing up the, like, kind of, I wouldn't say ruining the video, but like kind of like when I'm involved in an interaction and it comes, yo, okay, get up, and it's like, oh, then the other person knows. But I've only had one guy like threaten to punch me in the face in New York City, and he didn't. But other than that, it's kind of like the whole concept of it is, look at this guy wearing this out of date outfit, his
The
hair.
shades.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, if somebody came up to me and was like, "Pfft," to me looking like that, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Look at him. Who does he? How dare he?
I
Like,
know.
and I would just find it like a joke, and I would just blow it off. So yeah.
And that's the main thing. I don't even realize, like, how do people take you seriously? Like, how do you not laugh? Like, when you're doing these, like, are you just that good at staying in character?
Yeah, I
Because
mean, just it's like being on an SNL when you're performing live in front of an audience in character and being funny. You just
just lock in and
you're,
just
you're a
yeah.
performer. You perform. Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that cop video you did recently, with, I forgot what police department it was, where you walk in, you knock on the glass door.
Oh yeah.
That guy looked like the guy across from you. He looked like he was cracking up. Like, you could tell he's like trying not to laugh the whole video.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, that was to me, and probably a majority of the people that saw that setup. That was
Yeah.
like, they asked me to do that. But there were some people that were like, staged, fake. Like, obviously, my pranks are my pranks. But if I do like something like that, it's just obvious. I don't need to explain that that's a skit.
Yeah.
You got to be a dope if you don't realize that that's a skit.
Yeah.
But that's my buddy Andrew back home in Jersey. He's a chief of police there at the Riverton Police Department. And he hit me up. He was like, Ed, listen, man, would you be down? Like, we're just trying to get recruits in because we're losing 2 of our officers. Then they only have like 6 or 7 cops in that department. It's a real small town. And he said, I don't know what, but do you think you can, we're just trying to get, awareness that we're hiring and we need people. So I said, well, it's tough, dude, because it's got to be anything I do has got to be organic. It's got to be real, even if it's scripted or. So I came up with that little, just walk in, show the sign, act like I'm going in there. I saw the help wanted sign, looking for a job, and told him that was our third take, and he hit me up like the next day, like the whole department's like going nuts because they got like multiple people applying. He said we got a couple good ones. And they were just really stoked about it. So I was stoked that they were, because I was like thinking, I don't, and I told him, I said, I don't know that, anybody that's going to watch this is going to apply, just so you know. I mean, it's more about recognition that we did something together with Chip Diamond, and he got it, he understood, but, he was shocked, and so was I at the turnout, and the people like hitting him up and calling. And
I was cracking up. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, when shout out to Andrew in Jersey, man, because like
Yeah.
when you hit him with that 1,000 or 2 push-ups, bro, I lost it. I was like, this motherfucker, 1,000 or 2. I showed my girl. I got so I've been my fiance. We've been together like almost 10 years now. We just had a daughter. She's
Oh,
7
nice.
months old, and
Before marriage?
I know. What the fuck are we doing?
I did the same thing. Who am I?
No, but like it's like one of those things where that was like one of her favorite videos out of all your videos. I'm like, why that one? Like, there's so many other, like, your catalog is so extensive of all your.
Sometimes those little just on the spot moments are.
They're authentic. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, something about not being overproduced.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want to talk about right now. Is like, I talk to some creators that are like, man, I got to have a TV camera crew coming around with me. And I noticed a lot of your stuff you just self shoot.
Yeah.
Like, that's all by design? Like, you just like, screw it, I don't need a.
Well, back in the day, I was just filming with my phone. Then came along cameramen and wireless mics, so you can do more produced pranks. But I like the POV style, the stuff that I'm putting up on Instagram all the time that I'm just filming with my phone. Like, I'll put something up of my cat, and a day later it's got 3-4 million views. Just random stuff, and it's kind of more real, obviously, because once you're wearing a mic, once you see, if you watch a prank and you hear somebody's mic'd up, it's produced. It's already produced. But when it's just the phone, it's not produced, I mean, at the end of the day, but not as much. And I enjoy doing those, and I feel like they're just more real and more organic. And it's also the way that a lot of people are doing it now. Like, there's a lot of guys that came after me that, like, I'll give you an example. Johnny Hamcheck, who's really popular on Instagram, and he and I are really tight now. We're friends. We've hung out several times. And he films, you don't ever see him. He never films anything with a camera. It's always with his phone. And he blew up doing that. And there's a lot of other guys out there now that are doing it that way as well.
I think it's just more relatable. Like your audience relates to it
Yeah.
more because it's like it's just a guy with a phone, just
Right.
like they are, right?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, all we are is just a guy with a phone.
Yep.
Like, nothing more, nothing less.
Yep.
Like, nothing
Yeah,
better,
it's-
nothing worse.
It's the way,
Yeah, and did you meet any of the other guys? Like, what other creators have you met? Have you met like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, some of those guys?
I met Jake Paul years ago in Philly because he was doing some live shows, and my kid was a big fan, unfortunately. No, I'm kidding. It was unfortunate. It was horrible. I couldn't sit through it. Sorry if anybody sees it, but it was just a terrible show that my son wanted to go see. And then after the show, he brought us backstage, and my son got to meet him, and I met him. And then Logan Paul, I didn't meet him, but I was at a YouTube event with him where he was at the same event that I was. Early on, they used to have these gatherings.
Was it like VidCon?
VidCon,
Yeah.
exactly. And he was there, and so I've met a majority of, like Fuzi was big back in the day. Roman Atwood was big back in the day. Those guys, we've done videos together with them. So I would say I've met a majority of them. I don't know if you think of somebody I could tell you.
Yeah, or like Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
in
We
New
met
York.
Casey in L.A.
Yeah.
We hung out with him at his house a couple of times. He's, cool, chill, down to earth guy.
Because I think he moved out to LA and then he moved back to
Yeah.
New York or
Yeah.
something. He just couldn't deal with the LA life.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. LA's a different,
Do you live
It's
out
not
in
for
LA?
everybody. No, I live in South Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you, and you never got the appeal of going out there? Because I feel like a lot of people would, especially in your position, would be in LA, be in the mix, going to the clubs out there.
A lot of people like to go out there, and then they end up living out there. I had the opportunity, actually, Maker Studios, when they first signed me and I was going out there, they were flying me out like every 8 weeks. I was going out. I was staying in an apartment out there. We were filming content. I would leave. They would edit it. The founders flew me and my wife out there, and they were trying to proposition us to come out there and buy. And they actually offered to put us in a house until we got a house. And we turned it down, and I'm glad. I just, LA is just not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. I'm an East Coast guy. I'll never leave the Philadelphia area. It's just, you know, it's more real,
Yeah.
LA's all transplants and just people trying to make it, and and a lot
Who's
of
who,
fake
and it's
stuff.
yeah. Like I don't think I could do it either, man. I was born and raised right here in Arizona. It's like if I want to go out to LA, we're so close. It's like if
Yeah,
I want to cruise out there and back, I can go see it, go
yeah.
hang out at the beach, and come
And
back to
and don't get me
Arizona.
wrong, it's beautiful out there. I still
Yeah.
love going out there. The weather is great. The thing that I love about LA is there's always something to do. Like in Philly, it's freezing cold right now. There's nothing to do. You literally hibernate during the winter. And out there, it's even in January, February, the coldest months here. Out there, you can go on the beach, and there's still thousands of people out exercising, walking around, riding electric bikes. You know, so I like that aspect of it. Um, but just like I said, everybody wants to be somebody out there. It's
Oh yeah.
like a turnoff.
Yeah, and I think too. I mean, obviously, you guys going to the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to be rooting for Philly.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely not a Kansas City fan, so
Nice.
I'll be right there with you guys. Yeah, man, and I think that the other big thing too, with people on the outside looking in is like I think a lot of people feel like you have to be in LA to become someone. And it turns me off too because it's like at the end of the day, we're all just doing our like single shit.
Yeah.
So it's like to go to LA and to try to be someone else that you're not. Typically, those people come right back. Like I've known people personally that go out there and they come back a totally different person.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And it's like they kind of lose themselves in
Yeah.
it. So how have you like kept grounded?
I
Throughout
mean,
like your journey.
I was already married and had kids before YouTube came along, so I was already just doing my thing.
Had a good foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just where that's the only thing that really matters to me. Like so.
You're not like trying to like I need to have 10 million or 15, like you're not focused in on like the
No, I'm not.
numbers.
No.
See, and I think some people they get lost in that. Like I don't know what, maybe it's just some people are more susceptible to it, like the fame or
No,
the
it changes
money.
people. Yeah, and money, changes people. And I want to make money. I want to provide for my family, but I'm not driven by money at all because I don't care about money. It's just when
It's just
I die,
a tool, right? Like it.
when I die, it's not coming with me. I don't care about this life, dude. It's just
Yeah. That's such a freeing way to live too. So I think, yeah, at the end of the day, it's just one of those deals like people can get so focused in on it.
yeah.
Let's do a couple reacts. I got a couple things pulled up here that I wanna show you and just react to them. Just walk us through it, kind of how
So
you
yeah,
got,
this is
how
the
it came
cop
to be.
video. Chip Diamond's
You
walking.
guys hiring, right? Yeah, I want to be a cop. What do I need?
I'm not gonna sit here and talk over this all day. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So that's
What's that? No, I'm not a cop. That's why I'm
yeah.
here.
So that's like we talked about, is this Chip Diamond going in asking if because he saw the help wanted sign out front of the police station, and I'm filming it with my phone, and I got Chip Diamond's rocking the fur coat there because it's winter time out there, and Chip likes to look good in the winter time. Got the good old FOP card in case I get pulled over.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that end.
I think that cracks me up too, and like even just to see you walk in there and like bang on the glass, all boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
as you go in,
Yeah.
man. And then if you want to do the next one, yeah, just swipe.
Furniture.
Yeah. So this one I want to ask you. This is the famous furniture video that you guys have seen. So what? How did this one come about? Like,
So how that one came about was local furniture company hit me up and was like, we want to hire you to do a video. So we went to Starbucks, met the owner's son, and he's like, how much? And I was like, and we talked, and I was like, well, we just bought a new house and I need furniture. And he said, done, we'll furnish your whole house. So they furnished, 4 bedrooms, living room, everything in exchange for the video. Drew here went with me that day, and we filmed it there. And like I said, I don't like to do fake pranks. So I said, like, make sure that whoever we're going to interact with doesn't know who I am and doesn't know about this. So they did. The owners and the owner's son knew, but the guys in the video didn't know. And that was it. We went in beforehand to set up the camera, and because I thought, of the idea of just having beats, which are just, things that happen during the video. The first beat is I pull open the drawer, but we had it rigged so it just falls and breaks. The next beat was, we rigged the table so when I hit it with my foot, it breaks and the marbles roll everywhere. And then the final one was we set up the mattress so if I jump on it, it just collapses. And that's how that came about. And that was it. And that was fun. That one did really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one was one of your top performing videos, or has there been several? I think since then, because when did you guys film that? That was a little while ago.
About 5-6 years ago.
Oh, that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So there's been a ton of other content then since then.
No, about 5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Español? Americano? American.
Chile. Muchachos, muchachas. Yeah. It's Mumbles speaking Spanish. So Mumbles is my cowboy character that just mumbles. And he also he's bilingual. So muchachos español.
You do real well out here in Arizona.
Yeah.
I think that the mumbles out here in Arizona, especially being bilingual,
Yeah.
you probably do really well.
Yeah, much I'm on bilingual. I can't talk about much. Houses. And I was doing a show somewhere. So when I do these shows, when we travel, we always hit the streets and film a prank in that town, and then we show it exclusively to the audience that night at the show, which always does really well. They love, that we came to their town and shot something. So that I forget what town that was. We've been all over. So that's just random stuff. We go out, put mumbles on and just drive around and look for people to engage with and have fun. And we're not out trying to piss anybody off or ruin anybody's day. Sometimes it does happen, and that's not always my fault. If somebody's just a loose cannon and anything will set them off, like this one video where I was in Manhattan and I was playing Skippy and I was on one of those Segway kind of scooter, like a hoverboard, a Segway hoverboard, and I was like acting like I didn't know how to ride it, and there was a car stopped in traffic with his window down, and I came up and grabbed his door, and I'm like, whoa, sir, and he was like, get the fuck off my car. I'm like, sir, I'm gonna fall. He goes, I don't give a shit, get off my car. Some people are just angry and bitter, and no matter what you do, they're just gonna be pissed off, and they're gonna have a mean reaction to it.
Sometimes those reactions are the best ones.
Exactly.
Like sometimes
that's the other thing I was going to say. Sometimes those angry reactions are the best reactions. People love seeing other people get pissed off, but at the end of the day, I don't like to ruin people's day, But it's rare that you can get somebody to. So a question a lot of people ask me is, do you tell these people afterwards? Most of the time, no, because especially if you piss them off, and then you tell them you were filming it, then they're going to just punch you right in the face,
Yeah.
Hey, not only did I piss you off, but I was filming it as a joke,
Yeah, they're going to be extra, yeah.
Yeah, but we did a Mumbles, Drew and I did a Mumbles video a couple months ago in Jersey, and there was a guy selling hoagies on the side of the road. And so Drew's in the car filming through the tent, and I get out and I'm mumbling to him, and this guy didn't want no part, and he was just angry, agitated, mean. I get in the car and I see him. I'm like, look, he's looking through the tent. He sees you, Drew, and he saw Drew, and he came over and he's like, wait, you guys were filming it? And it was the rare occasion that he found out, and then he started laughing and he liked it, and it was like, wow. Like, I think he kind of felt bad too that he was just being so short, because the characters that I play sometimes come off as they could be special needs, speech impediment with mumbles. So he was probably like, "Oh man, I was mean to this guy who had a speech impediment. Now people are going to see it because they filmed it. Oh, hey, I'm actually a nice guy over here, you know."
I wanted to ask you about that because I feel like sometimes like I like some of them I watch and I'm like, man, you could definitely like come across as like you had some sort of like, yeah, disability or something. Have you ever had anyone like try to challenge you on that and be like, hey, why are you, like I'm just thinking as we're in
Yeah.
like 2025, I like,
Yeah, I mean, I do this character, and this is like my fans. Like when I go to do shows, everyone in the audience yells out, I work," and I did these videos called "I Work." I don't know if you've seen them, but he could the character that I play could be labeled special needs, whatever. But I go out and I just act like I'm special needs, I guess. I mean, I didn't plan that. That's just the way, It's kind of like Stewart was on, what was that? Was it Mad TV?
yeah, yeah, I know. I think it was Mad TV.
Yeah,
Was
and
it? Yeah.
it's kind of along the same lines of that. He's obviously not a little kid; he's an adult. So to me, that comes off as somebody with special needs.
Yeah.
But I'm not making fun of special needs. I'm actually representing the community. Like I'm going out there representing one of you. Like why can't we emulate a special needs or person that is slow or whatever? So some people will say, oh, I have a guy told me when he sees me he's going to kill me for making fun of special needs or retarded people or whatever he said. But my brother, who actually just a year ago today passed away from cancer, he was special needs. Thanks. He was special needs, and I grew up with a brother a year and a half younger than me who was at the time of his death 48 years old, but on the mind set of a 7 or 8 year old, and so I'm sensitive to that, and I
Yeah, so
understand that.
you grew up around it,
Yeah,
so it's
and-
not like you're,
right.
like, casting stones at that
No,
community.
and
or,
why shouldn't
yeah.
they have somebody that can go out and act like one of them and be goofy and mess with, fuck with normal people?
Yeah.
And in fact, my brother would watch those videos, the I Work videos, and piss himself laughing. So he's not saying, "Hey, you're making fun of me."
Yeah.
No, he got it, and it's just humor's humor. If you're doing comedy, you're just trying to make people laugh. You're not trying to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, and I think too that just that ties into the whole like 2025 20 like I feel like recently like comedy is one of those safe spaces still where you can still have that creative outlet, and I think it's really healthy to have that. Like I to be able to have a space. Like I see some of the most, like even in business, I've taken some people to Tempe Improv. I'm not sure if you've been over
No.
to Tempe Improv. It's like a stand-up comedian, comedy place, and
Uh-huh.
we've gone in and watched so many different comedians there, and it's one of the best ways to kind of break the ice and get, especially in business, someone that's really serious all the time.
Right.
Like you go to a comedy show with them. I know you do a lot of the comedy shows too, which we're going to have all your dates and everything too posted in this video. So if you guys want to attend, a show, definitely hit up Ed and his link. I'm sure you'll have.
Yeah, hit up my team.
Yeah, yeah. I almost said his team, but I think that the best way to bring someone's guard down is comedy. It just lowers that guard immediately, and like we cold call a lot in real estate, and we have these interactions where people just like either get really upset that we're calling, and we make a joke about it, and all of a sudden they're fine.
I mean,
So,
humor is the best medicine, and I hear it from people all the time, that are going through some difficult shit, and they thank me for just, taking them a moment out of that reality. And that's what it's about, and that's what comedy is. Music is similar. Music is the same thing. Take you out of that little bit of reality. So that's what I feel my purpose on this planet is to just help people, and in turn it helps me because, like I said, my brother died a year ago, and less than a year before that, my mom passed away from cancer.
Man, I'm
So I
sorry
had
to hear
two
that.
major tragedies in my life, and humor helps you just move on and live with it, and make fun of everybody. Fuck it.
Yeah, for real.
Here's that back.
Yeah. Let me get the next video here queued up.
The bags. Oh, beanbag.
Beanbag.
First time player, guys.
Skippy is my
Thank you.
Skippy could be another special needs character. So Skippy, he has like an underbite or an overbite or whatever that is. And I got these glasses. First of all, way before YouTube even came out, I used to work in an adult daycare for like senior citizens that would come in for the day. I was a certified nurse's aide, and the place where I worked, they had a desk with a drawer in it that had like 50 pairs of miscellaneous glasses because they would all lose their glasses. And I found this pair that just made my eyes look huge, and I kept them. And those were Skippy's glasses, fast forward. So I just kind of built a character around the glasses, really. And the lisp, I don't know where that came from. It was just something that came up. And this here was a cornhole tournament
Come on.
at the
Gotta
local,
try better than that.
at the campground that we go to in Jersey. It's called Beachcomber. And they were having a cornhole tournament, and a lot of those people knew who I was and
Okay.
just kind of played along with it. So, like I said, it's not really a prank. It's not like, hey, you fooled them. I just went there, but probably maybe 20% of the people there, and there was a good 100 people at this event, knew who I was, and just even when people know who I am, they still sometimes don't realize that I'm filming. But yeah, so I went to the cornhole tournament and just kind of goofed around with them and had a good time.
I think a lot of people don't know that you hide the camera.
Where you going?
You hide the camera.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I've seen a lot like when people shoot, they tend to have the camera in a visible spot. So
Right.
then people, like, you won't get that authentic reaction, you know, when they see the camera.
Oh no! Once I see the camera, the gig is
It's over, right? Yeah. So you gotta make sure that camera's hidden. And
Yep.
I think a lot of people, they don't realize, like you said, they're even getting filmed.
Yeah.
They're just thinking like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, what's this guy walking around fucking?
I
like-
and I'm pretty good too. Like I've had where I'm filming and I see somebody look at the camera like, "Hey, who the fuck is he filming? What are you doing?" You know, and just play it like I don't know that they're filming me. Like,
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
What did they do? Who is that? Yeah. How was the flight in, guys? Was it trippy coming in, like seeing all the mountains and everything?
I've been out here so many times. I'm
You
used
don't-
to it.
Yeah.
But I was in New Mexico last year, and you know, as brown as it is out here, you guys got nothing on New Mexico. New Mexico is just like brown, completely brown. Even the houses are brown.
Yeah,
They're,
there's
they're literally made of mud.
yeah, New
Have you
Mexico.
been out there?
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge fan of New Mexico. Like I've been to Albuquerque once, and I was like, I'll never stay out here again.
I had 2 shows in Albuquerque. I was surprised. Like I remember landing, coming down. I'm like, bro, there's nobody here that even knows who I am. There's no way I have people out here. But we sold out two nights at the casino out there. It was great,
Holy
man.
shit.
As a matter of fact, I bumped into a lot of people that recognized me there that had no idea I was even there.
Really?
Yeah.
They probably didn't know where they were either.
No,
a lot of them are
no.
fucking cracked out
Yeah.
over there. They're like, where the fuck am I? Yeah.
No, I was literally checking into the hotel. I was getting my bag out of the car out front of the casino hotel because we were staying at their hotel. And there was a guy. He was like, "Yo, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing in New Mexico?" I'm like, "Bro, I have a show here tonight."
Yeah.
He and his family came to the show. They had no idea.
Yeah, here, this is the last one here. This one was the one that.
Just saw the video of Mike Tyson slapping the shit out of Jake Paul.
Where you spit the toothpick at the fucking camera.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I'd love to see you try that shit on me, Mike. Okay? I'll pop your head off like one of your little pet pigeons there.
So, all right, funny story about that was, so
Tell me Mike Tyson hit you up and was like,
No.
yo, you want to run that fade?
no. But what happened was after I posted that, my wife was like, somebody popped off one of his pigeons' heads. That's why he like went into boxing.
No
I'm like, "What?"
fucking way.
Yeah.
Really?
So he had pigeons when he was a kid, and somebody popped one of their heads off. So he went into boxing to kill people, I guess.
Fuck, dude. He was
get-
fucking
To
aggro.
get vengeance.
That video was so funny when I saw it, like for the very first time. Because
Yeah,
I was
that's
just.
Chip Diamond's signature, spitting the toothpicks out. And I do like I used to do cameos, and whenever I would do a cameo, spit the toothpick. When I do my live shows, it's great because I have a pocket full of toothpicks, and everybody in the front row is getting a toothpick spit on them. And some of them are like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Some of them pick them up. And I had a couple guys asked me to sign it after the show. I'm like, how do you sign a
fucking
toothpick with a Sharpie? Yeah.
What the fuck?
I signed it.
You
Couldn't tell what
fucking
it said. It was
put a
just
little
black.
line on. Yeah, I was
Black toothpick.
like, just fucking Sharpie to
Yeah.
toothpick. Like, here you go. Oh man. Well, let's. I appreciate you reacting to those, and yeah, man. Like I said, I've been a big fan, so I
Thank you,
appreciate
man.
you coming
Appreciate
in,
it.
and yeah, you know, with the live shows, I think is that something that you like tend to enjoy, or is that something that just comes with the territory because you're on social media?
I mean, the main part of it is to pay bills. Just that supplemental income, and shows can be really lucrative. If you can capture that audience and sell tickets, it's a great gig. I love being on stage. It's something like there's no way to explain it. That feeling, I guess, empowerment, whatever you want to call it, just having 500 people, there for you. It's a great feeling.
Do you go on tour? Is that the main thing?
I mean,
or
you do
is it
tours.
just-
I don't have a tour set up for the year. Like right now, I have shows in February, March, April, and up into May. In May, I'll be in Canada for 10 days.
the 51st state, right?
What's that?
The 51st state you're going to
Something
be
like that. I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie.
No, that's cool. So you just kind of take it as it comes, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no like major tour you're playing in a
No, I
year
get
in advance or
different
anything?
clubs hit me up, and I don't like I said, since I don't have a manager like designing this whole tour thing for me. I'm just like I talk to club owners that have had me at their clubs before, want to have me back. Like one in particular is Off the Hook in Florida. I've been there like 3 times, and I did like 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 2 shows on Sunday, like
Sold
6
them all
shows.
out?
Yeah, like literally
Holy
packed the
shit.
house. And that dude, Captain Brian there, like he'll hit me up soon. Hey man, you ready to come back down? And it's a great gig. It's a great check, and it's a good time. Like
Yeah.
the only thing I don't like about live shows is the drunk people. Man, the drunk people are. Anytime there's an issue, somebody getting thrown out or just heckling, over the top heckling, it's alcohol.
You don't ever capture it though, do you? I don't see a lot of your content where it's you actually at the like. Do you tape those
No,
shows
no.
live? You don't do any. Okay.
People do and post them up, and
Do you do like the no cell phones? Do you try to?
no, I
'cause
don't care. I
okay.
just whatever. Like, it's you can't. Somebody always sneaks a phone out and gets a clip. It's impossible. Um, but not every show is great. So when somebody's filming a show that's not a good show, that kind of like can hurt you a little bit. Like somebody says, "Oh, it's not funny. I'm not going to go see them." I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, you have good shows, you have bad. All the different places that I've seen, just towns are different, man.
Yeah.
And then even the same town, like I can do an early show and kill it, and then do a second show. Usually it's the opposite. Usually, like if I do 2 shows on a Friday, the second show is always better. 99% of the time. Just I guess it's people are out later. The people that are earlier are going to bed early. They're more like
Kind of like yeah.
older maybe. But overall, that's I do it for the paycheck, but I also do it because I love doing live shows, and then meeting people after shows. I'll do meet and greets, so I get to meet a lot of people and hear a lot of cool stories. And
Yeah, and just get out there in the community,
Yeah.
right, and interact. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it just helps everything. It probably helps your YouTube. It helps Instagram. It helps sell out that next show. 'Cause you get that word of mouth. People
Yeah.
are like, oh, I saw Ed in Florida. When are you coming out to Wyoming or wherever
Yeah.
they're from? So I'm sure.
and
you
it's
get,
cool to get to meet people that have been watching me for 10, 15 years and hear them say that afterward. And I had 2 different shows. I was shocked. 3 generations of people that like father, son, grandson, and then it was mother, daughter, and grandmother
Holy
that
shit.
all watched my stuff and came out to a show. I was like, wow, that was really cool, touching.
Yeah.
Touched me right on the penis. And,
I was like, yeah. Man, so Florida must be a good spot for you.
Florida, they're slow.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a special breed in Florida
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, the inbreed.
Yeah, they're out there for sure.
I never forget the first time I really got into Florida. My buddy Lonnie from Mowers Inc. He hit me up through a mutual friend and asked if I would come. He was having a grand opening at one of his locations. He sold lawn equipment, commercial lawn equipment. So I went down to do this meet and greet, and I met 150 people at this random lawnmower place in Sarasota, Florida. And I'm meeting everybody one by one. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? It's just weird, man. I felt like I was out of body, man. It just felt weird. I couldn't put my finger on it. And then after like halfway through, I'm like, dude, everybody out here is weird.
Yeah.
They're just different.
They're just fucking, yeah.
They're just different.
They're like fucking banging their cousin or something.
Yeah.
Like, what the
I don't
fuck?
know what the deal was there, but it was just okay. But now, years later, I'm in Florida all the time. Fast forward, me and Lonnie became really tight, really good friends, and I stay with him in Sarasota, hang out with him all the time down there. And Florida's like my favorite place to go to now.
I love it out there.
I love the weather and I love the fish, so it's the perfect place to be.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, yeah, you can't beat some of the beaches out there too. Like
Yep.
some of the
Oh, the
beautiful
beaches are great.
Oh, yeah. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you coming out. I think a lot of people are excited to have you here, and we're obviously excited to have you on Young Money Mindset. If there's anything, any last words of wisdom, anything you can leave a half-retarded real estate agent in Arizona, what would you leave us with?
I don't really have much to say other than, if you have children, teach them love them, and that's how you become successful. Raise your kids with love and to treat other people with love, and then that love is the answer. That's all I have to say. Love is the answer.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Young Money Mindset. As you guys know, this is season 3, and we got some really, really good guests coming up.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Thanks for having me. And if you cool.
Cool.